What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brendan and I'm Magna X, and today we're coming at you with another video. We have another in our How to Build series. We're getting ready to get into BT21. Pre-release is starting in just another day here, and we want to do at least another couple How to Build series. We'll probably do one after the start of pre-release because it's not official release until the week after, so we'll probably do at least one more of these. I was thinking about Medusamon as one of the newer How to Build decks, but today we're looking at our Armor Rush / Magnamon X-Antibody deck. You could build it either way. Depends if you like the Armor Rush. Depends if you would rather stick with the traditional Magnamon X-Antibody because it's such a powerful card. So we're looking at the Armor form deck and seeing what's the possibilities of doing, a Rush deck, sticking with Magnamon, and if any, the new support really supports and makes the Magnamon stuff better. So we're going to get into it, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to look at the cards and see what we come up with. And hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below, we'd love to hear your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of the fun. Alright, well, we have our egg here. I went with the Veemon from BT16 because I really don't feel like there's any other good Demi V for this deck. It gives you plus 1000 when all turns, well, you have 2 or more colors, which is great because all turns DP boosts are super good. It makes a difference in the mirror match, and if your opponent decides to play something different, and there's really no other good eggs that really get you a lot of value. So that's, to me, is the best Demi Veemon that we have. Getting into the Veemons, of course, you have your Searcher Veemon. You're always going to play the BT3 because it searches a free trait Digimon and a Davis, which you will play in these decks. So you always have the chance to hit 2 cards, at least get 1, because pretty much everything you're going to be playing is going to be free, and just the best Veemon searcher in the game. We also have our BT16 Veemon, the one that lets you when one of your other Digimon is played or Digivolves. If it has the free trait or is green, gain 1 memory. So this helps with things with the Davis, 3-cost Davis that plays Veemons for free. If you already have this guy on the board, if you raise him up, you get that that instant bonus of being able to Digivolve for 1 less, which because you use Veemons, all of your armors Digivolve for 1 less than their actual cost anyways on a Veemon. So that's really good. And the plus 2000 Harables are nice. I can still see this card seeing some play. We're going to look at the other guy, the newer guy, next and see if maybe he replaces this guy here. So we look at the BT21 Veemon. Your turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon card with Armor Form or Hero Trait, reduce the Digivolve cost by 1. That's easier to get, and it's a free reduced cost, so that's good. It also has the plus 2000 inheritable. I would also say it's going to replace the promo Veemon a little bit, because the promo Veemon, when this card would Digivolve once per turn into a card with a free trait, if you have a Tamer, reduce the Digivolution cost. You don't need to have the Tamer, you just need to have a Digimon card with Armor Form or the Hero Trait. The cool thing about that is all the old ones, even though the Hero Trait is new, the Armor Form trait is old. So that works with a lot more cards. So I think that you're definitely probably going to be playing 4 of the new Veemon, and then maybe potentially some combination, 4 of the Searcher, and then some combination of maybe the promo, because it's got the when attacking draw, which is really good because it's not once per turn. I would say so probably that. Probably this guy's not going to see as much play anymore in the deck. You don't really play the jamming guy anymore, although the jamming guy was really nice because you could attack with him, go into Magnamon, unsuspend because he had jamming, and then attack with the Magna, and if the Magna died, you could do it again. So it did add some value. I don't think we really see this get played anymore, but it was a cool combo back in the day, so I thought I'd include him for anybody that might tech 1 or 2. You also have the option, if you want more search options, you have the on play that adds 1 from the starter deck. It reveals 3, adds 1 card with free trade among them to your hand, and place the remaining cards on the bottom of the deck. And again, the nice thing about him is that he has the free trait baked right into his abilities, so that's good. Moving on, of course, you have your Magnamons. You're always going to probably play this Magnamon because at max numbers because it hits itself off security, which is really good, and can Digivolve, or when it gets hit off security, it can Digivolve, and it does de-Digivolve So that's really good. And it strips sources, which again is really good. And it can strip, I think it can strip any, so I want to say strip any source. Or top Digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon, which sometimes is good because you hit an ace card, which is always preferable. And then you can bounce something if it doesn't have a source. Flamedramon. The new BT21 Flamedramon, of course, has Armor Purge. When Digivolving, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP until your opponent's turn ends. Your turn once per turn when this Digimon attack target changes, this Digimon suspends. So this would be really good if he had Raid baked into him, but he doesn't, so missed opportunity. It's a decent card, but it has no inheritable. I think they really need to start baking in inheritables to the armor forms to make them better. Maybe I'm overthinking things, but that's how I feel. You have the new Lydramon here. There we go. It's got Piercing, which is actually really cool. Now it's got the Piercing keyword. It's got Armor Purge. It's got when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then this Digimon gets plus 2000 until your opponent's turn end. That's pretty good. Again, it'll Digivolve for 2 on a Veemon, like the Flamedramon will, whereas the Magnamon's Digivolve for 3. You have on the new Magnamon, you have Armor Purge, Blocker, when Digivolving this Digimon unsuspends. So again, you get multiple attacks. Then to one of your opponent's Digimon, give minus 2000 DP for the turn for each card with Armor Form trait in your trash. Similar, I feel very similar to the original Magnamon, but we'll get to him in a second. You have the old Lydramon, which had Armor Purge and suspend one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. The cool thing about this guy, he is better because he just suspends one of your opponent's Digimon, gives him plus 2000, and you have Piercing, so you can attack over and check a card. So definitely replacing the old guy. You have the Promo Flamedramon, which is the popular one, which just has Armor Purge. Raid, so this is where they gave him Raid. And then your turn once per turn when this Digimon's attack target is switched, your opponent adds the top card of their security to the hand. So still a better card than I think the new guy. They definitely missed an opportunity with the new guy. They should have definitely had Raid as a keyword on there. We have Sagittariumon, the new Tournament Pack card, which has Armor Purge. When Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 for the turn. When attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less. So that's another option too. Cost 2 on a Veemon. Nothing super special. Just another option. You got Gold Veedramon, Armor Purge. When Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 for the turn if you have a blue or yellow Tamer in play, or if you have a card with Armor Form in your trash. One of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less can attack or block. So that stuns. I've seen people play a couple copies of those to help stun your opponent, which is always decent. And then, of course, we have Magnamon, Blocker. All turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area, draw 1. And then you may play a Veemon from your hand or from this Digimon's Digimon cards without paying the cost. This is kind of good because this could work in tandem with that BT16 Veemon, playing a Veemon when he's already on board and then getting to Digivolve for reduced cost. Not a bad thing. You do usually max out on this Magnamon just because it's a good draw engine. You have the OG Magnamon, which Blocker, Armor Purge, and when Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon and it gets plus 2000 DP. Until the end of your opponent's next turn for each card with Armor trait in your trash. So it's basically it's the opposite of the new one. The new one has the same keyword. It unsuspends on Digivolution, but it negs your opponent, whereas this one gives you the plus 2000. So yeah, and I think it's only one of your opponent's Digimon like security. Yeah, so kind of the opposite. So it'd be nice to see if we're gonna to continue to play this, or if we're gonna play some of this, or maybe half and half, maybe play 3 and 3. I don't know. I definitely see the Magnamon could be an inclusion in the deck, and definitely the Lydramon too. I'm not certain about the Flamedramon, but you're probably still going to be maxing out on these and maxing out on the BT13s, and then having some kind of ratio of your other stuff right there. And then of course we have as well Mega Digimon. It's the level 5 that's getting played in the deck just because on play when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon to the bottom of their deck, which is really good. Then if Mega Digimon or X-Antibodies in this card's Digivolution cards, if you play X-Antibody or Pro Form, you can make that happen. And you can reduce the Digivolution cost too with Proto Form. One of your opponent's Digimon can't suspend until the end of their turn, which is always really good. Stops them from being able to activate effects when they attack. So that's really, really good. And then your turn, inheritable. This Digimon's attack target can't change, which is also really good. Making that you can't be, blockers can't be used on you. So that's really good. And then, of course, we have the OP card himself. Blocker, Armor Purge, when Digivolving, if Magnamon X-Antibody or an Armor form is in this, if Magnamon X-Antibody or an Armor form trait card is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon gets plus 3,000 and it isn't affected by your opponent's effects. Then unsuspend it. All turns once per turn. When a card is removed from the security stack, you may activate one of this Digimon's when Digivolving effects. Busted. Digivolves for 4 on a level 5 and 5 on an Armor form. We have the new Armor Digivolution. Main. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Davis Monomiya and its name to your hand, and 1 card with free trade among them to the hand. So it's a searcher. So we could definitely see playing multiple copies of this. Then place this card in the battle area. All turns when the top stack card of any of your Armor form traits is trash. Delay after this card is placed by trashing. Okay, so that's just the delay keyword, which is you got to use it next turn. One of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with the Armor form in the hand without paying the cost. So free Armor Digivolutions when your armor gets trashed, which is actually really good. Adds a lot of value to the deck, where you could do multiple Magnamon plays, unsuspend attack, die. Unsuspend attack, Digivolve for free. I think this is probably going to be a card that gets played in the deck, whether it's maxed out. I mean, it is a searcher. That's another question, but actually really good for a 3 cost. And you could play this over something like Mem Boost, potentially. But we'll have to wait and see. But I think that card's very good. Of course, you got your X-Antibodies, which you can play here just because they do have some value. Being able to attack and Digivolve into Magnamon, or you got the Seadramon, you want the Seadramon's ability to activate, especially if you go use Proto Form to reduce that Digivolution cost. You could play like 1 of each. You could play like 2 of 1. I wouldn't go any more than 2 copies of any X-Antibody in this deck. It's not necessary, but it is a decent play. You got your 1 Awakening of the Gold Knight, which turns your Magnamon Digivolution into a 3 cost. You only got 1 copy because it's limited to 1, so you gotta play it. It's broken. Same with Blinding Ray, which activates your Magnamon by trashing your top security and making him safe before you go to attack on your turn after his effect is nullified. So you gotta play 1 of that too. It's just a staple card. And then of course we have our Tamers. We have our Davis, 3 cost play, and then he basically plays you a Veemon. Or lets you Digivolve for an XV, but that's never going to happen. Basically, he's there to go into a free Veemon on board, which is nice because if you open him, it's a really good play to just play him, play a free Veemon, put your opponent to 3, but you get 2 cards out of it. Plus, you might get a search depending on what you play, which Veemon you played. And every turn, if you have a Digimon with free trait at the start of the turn, you gain a memory. So it's really good. So it's always good to play a couple copies of this guy. There's the new Davis. Start of your main phase, your opponent has a Digimon gain a memory. By suspending this Tamer and trashing the top stack card of your Armor form trait Digimon, draw 1 and gain a memory. So that's really good. Plus you gain a memory off of his other effects. So you can get 2 memory per turn from this. And it's really good because when you trash your Armor form, you activate your new option card. So think about that. It works in tandem. So I think you potentially see a couple copies of this because you have a memory tamer, say you have a Davis and you have the other Davis on board, you can can easily get up to 5 memory and get a free armor Digivolution and then go straight into that Magnamon. So it will make Magnamon more consistent, I believe. Actually, you don't even need this Davis. You just need the memory tamer and this guy and like a Magnamon in the back. Push up, you know, trash your Magnamon. Go into a free one to gain 2 memory. And the nice thing too is you can potentially attack through the security, die, play a free one, do the same thing, do it over again, get multiple attacks before you go into the Magnamon X-Antibody so that you can potentially get closer for a game in 1 turn. You might be able to check multiple more cards in 1 turn. And of course another option, you got the Memory Tamer, which is also a searcher, which everyone plays a couple copies of. But you got the Davis and Ken, which is a decent option because even though you don't play Wormmons, it does, and you don't DNA Digivolve, it does give you the benefit of playing free Wormmons at the start of your turn. Not always an option that everyone plays. Some people use it as a tech, but I thought I'd throw that in there. But I definitely think that this card's going to be at least maybe a 2 of, maybe more. Might have cut out copies of this. We'll have to wait and see. Still going to need the Searcher. Going to need that Memory Tamer. But we'll see how the deck goes because it's going to let you really recycle, especially with this option card, recycle your armor forms attack. If they don't die, you can then recycle them for a free Digivolution with that and gain a couple memory so that you can continue your plays even further. So I actually really do like that. I think it's really cool. And we got all these cool new fancy armor forms, which are really good with a lot of different abilities. So tell me what you guys think about the deck. Do you think the deck's going to focus more on the armored rush aspect and maybe just leave the Magnamon for a finishing play when you get the right cards like Awakening and Blinding Ray? Or do you think we're going to continue to focus in on the Magnamon? And what changes do you think that these new cards are going to bring? There's lots of cool stuff. And, you know, BT21 is, you know, pre-release is coming tomorrow. So just get ready, everyone, because your decks are going to be changing. Looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. We hope to see you in the next video. And as always, have a wonderful day. And that's all for now, folks.